Hi there, and welcome to the fourth video in our onboarding series about workflow automation. Today we're going to be covering how you can copy templates from our template library, how you can customize the workflows, and what features are also included. So let's first take a look at copying a template over from our template library. So as we saw in the first onboarding video, what we can do to access the templates is go to our settings tab, and then on the subheading at the top, go to pipelines. When I click on this tab, we can see that it's empty because we haven't created any pipelines yet. What we can do though is copy a template from the library and move it into our active workflow space. I can do that by clicking copy from library. I could then search for UK templates, and I can copy any of these templates into my personal library. I'm going to copy the self-assessment return workflow, and that should now appear in my personal library too. By clicking on this workflow, I would then be taken to the edit page where I could add, change or review the automations that are currently assigned in the workflow. You also are able to access multiple formatting options, like how you'd like the job cards to appear. And we can also include job templates, which should populate the accounts added to these workflows with things like due dates and additional information too. By scrolling down, we can see how this workflow is currently arranged. In each stage, you'll be able to see the automations that have been assigned, and you'll be able to add and edit the automations by clicking the Edit Automations button here. On this page, I could select the template that I'd like to use, or I could create a new one by using the New Template button here. I could also move these automations or delete them if I don't think they're necessary. But right now I'm happy with the automations that are going to be triggered. To see the latter stages in the workflow, all you need to do is just scroll towards the right. To add automations to these stages, simply hit Edit Automations and then use the Add Automations button at the bottom. Here you have a choice of 10 different automations that can be included. You can apply a folder template, which is essentially a predefined structure of folders and files that you've created. You can update the account tags by either adding or removing relevant tags. You can create an invoice, create an organizer, which is a digital form used to request important documents and information. You can create tasks, which are more for internal work. We can send a letter of engagement or contract. We can send an email to inform the client at what stage of the process we're at. We can send them a message, which will also allow us to send the client a client task which they can tick off. We can update the account access, giving different team members access at different stages in the automation. And lastly, we can include a wiki page, which is essentially a list of your standard operating procedures. By looking at this page, we can also see that we can add different conditions to each stage. You could also add conditions to each individual automation by clicking Edit Automations and then adding conditions. But if you'd like to add conditions for all automations in the stage, then you can do that by clicking the Add Conditions button at the top and then selecting a tag that you've created. What this essentially means is that the automations in this stage are only going to be applied to those accounts with this tag here that you've selected at the top. That makes it very easy for you to manage different types of clients within one workflow. If you're happy with the work you've done, then you can hit save and we'll take a look at the workflow on the Workflow tab. Here we see the Kanban board for the workflow. And let's go ahead and add an account. Now I could add an account from the plus new button, and by scrolling down to job, I could add different accounts as a bulk action on our CRM page. But for simplicity, I'm going to add a job by using the button at the top here. I'm going to select the account that I'd like to add. And then I can add additional information about the due date. I could also include a job assignee who will be responsible for overviewing this job, and then I can add it to the workflow. It's going to prompt me and say these are the automations that are going to be triggered, and I can hit move to add them to the workflow. And that's the end of our short workflow overview. Thank you very much for watching, and if you have any additional questions, then we have loads of additional support in product webinars, onboarding assistance and live one-on-one screen sharings and more. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have a nice day.